Do, 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 do. Johnny Quest here, folks. How you doing? I know this isn't a fishing video, but I'm always on the move, man. That's why my family calls me Johnny Quest. Got nothing to do with the cartoon character, by the way. And what am I doing here? I am cooking wonton wraps with pork meat. Yeah, I do cooking videos too. So anyway, I just got my pot here with some oil, and I'm not gonna get too close because last time I don't think you guys could see anything. So anyway, that's what it is. Just oil, canola. I like canola oil or safflower oil. The healthier the oil, the better. I only use 3 kinds of oil, by the way: canola oil, olive oil, or safflower oil. And what I'm doing right here is I got my wraps kind of ready over here, you know, a little ahead of time. I'm just going to give you a little insight right here. And what you do is you always want to bring your oil to heat up. Remember that. Always heat up. And while that happens, I'm going to go ahead and you get a small scoop type spoon. These are the best right here. They're used for like sugar and any of those smaller grain type spoons. And you'll see they're really like rounded. You can see it's got like, you know, rounding there. And this is what helps to be able to fill these guys up. And you just scoop it up just like that, and you put it in the middle of your wrap, and you pretty much go like from corner to corner and corner to corner, and then you close this corner in and pinch it, and then you close this corner in, kind of like if you're making little tiny miniature burritos. And that's what you want to do there. Okay, and you make your next one. And this is really easy. You just ground your pork when you buy it, you know, and then I ground like a lot of it and then have it ready, and I keep containers, small containers, so I can make as much as I want. I keep containers like this and just save it in the freezer, and when I'm good and ready to eat them, I make them. I make all these little nice guys right here, and they're better than going to the Chinese place and eating what they do there, because I don't really always know what they're cooking over at the Chinese place. Besides, they don't really have a Chinese place here, not where I'm at right now anyway. And so I just make a whole group of them and just have them ready. And once my oil starts breaking up again, bring it down between medium and medium high there, just to keep the oil nice and hot. And this is going to deep fry in there, so once you're ready to go, you're ready to go. Yay, Susie loves these. She'll probably come over here and say, like, are they ready? Probably. But if she knows I'm rolling the camera, she might not. She gets a little camera shy. So I just keep making these. My oil is getting hot there, and a lot of times people say, like, how am I 100% sure how hot the oil is? Is it ready? How do I know if to put it in already? Well, you know, sometimes I cheat. And by that I mean I'll get a little piece of whatever I'm going to cook. In this case, it's going to be a little tiny piece of this, and I'll just drop a little piece in the oil like that, and I look at it, and I don't see it really working anything out, so I know it's not ready yet. So I got plenty of time to work with my little sheets here, my little wonton sheets, and that's how you check it. And you just keep an eye, because that little guy there is going to start simmering as soon as that oil gets hot enough. So if you're not really sure what you're looking at, even though your oil has that swirl already moving around from the heat, you can just drop a little piece of whatever you're cooking, just a small piece, like I did. That was like less than a quarter of a small fingernail from your small pinky. And that way you keep checking it. So I got plenty of time. I can see that hasn't started yet, even though it's a little bit of a swirl in there. I just keep making these, and as many as you can fit in one lump there. And that's what you do. Just keep rolling these. Now I pre-season my pork so that I have it ready for this. I pre-season it, so by the time this thaws out and I'm ready to make these, my pork's already marinated in the spice. You use whatever spices you like to use to marinate your pork. I like my own particular marinade that I make, and I use different marinades for different kind of meats that I use myself. I don't go by anybody else's specifics. I have my own specifics. And nothing. It's just something that I learned in the kitchen of my parents, and I brought it to my kitchen. And it's awesome. I love to cook, and I told you on my last video, you know, that I learned to cook a lot, you know, from my grandmother owning restaurants. My father, he cooks all kinds of Cuban meals. Learned a lot from that. And that's been a lot of fun for me. I've actually been able to implement, you know, all those things in my kitchen. So so that's pretty much what you do, and you get all these guys ready here. I'm gonna put this a tiny bit higher just to get it right on the kick there. It's almost there. I already see one a little bit simmering there, so I'll bring it down a little bit as soon as he kicks in. And all you're going to do is just have this guy ready like that. And this is just a small batch I have right there. Excuse me a second here. And you're going to want to have one of these. You definitely want one of these right here. This is so that it's got all the holes in it. I forgot what this is called. Susie, what is this thing called? She knows all about these in English better than me. We have Spanish words for this, but, you know. Oh, you're there. What is this called? Well, anyway, this just lets the grease drain through. Make sure you got one of these. You don't want to put something in the grease and, you know, it'd be like, oh, how am I going to get that out with all that grease? Because you definitely don't want to get it out with all the grease. So anyway, you just keep one of those. You saw what it looked like. I don't remember the name, sorry. It's not like they taught me that to translate it from Spanish to English. In Spanish, if you want to know the name, it's called espumadera. And that's what it is, espumadera. So I guess we'll call it that right now. Make sure you get your espumadera, because you're going to need it to drain out the oil from these babies right here when they're ready to be put in. And just make as many as you can with what you got. And usually each one of these containers will give you quite a few. And I just cooked some white rice. Now I got some white rice already made. I just got to heat it up and stuff. So I'm not going to be making any fresh white rice today. You know, it's just some leftover white rice. And yeah, white rice will last 2 days easy in the refrigerator. No problem. I personally don't eat anything past 2 days. Chicken, definitely don't even past 1 day. I don't like to eat like leftover chicken and stuff. I will cook chicken that I didn't cook the day before, but eat leftover chicken I don't like. I try to like really practice as much food safety as possible. And definitely when it comes to chicken, you want to practice food safety, because you don't want to get sick on bad chicken. And me, I'm really particular about that. Susie knows. Susie's like, how come you don't want to eat this? Well, it was there yesterday. Yeah, but it's been in the fridge. Oh, well, I just have a different outlook. Everybody has their own outlook. I mean, if you guys are brave and you want to do it, go right ahead. I'm not going to tell you to stop. But me personally, no. I'm really particular about that. I'll probably eat beef the next day before I'll eat chicken the next day. And that's because I'll probably recook the beef when I do eat it. But chicken, I'm just too scared to try that one. And fish, I'll definitely eat fish from the day before. I'll eat fish anytime. I'm a fish addict. Pork, definitely, I will not. I don't want to do the next day eating on the pork either. That's a no-no for me also. I'll eat pork now, and anything left over, I ain't gonna eat it tomorrow. Not eating it. Definitely not. Fish I will eat from the day before, but not pork. Not pork or chicken. No, no. To me, swine and fowl are like real delicate meats that you should be eaten on that day that you cook it. And make sure that when you have refrigerated, that it's well refrigerated. You don't want to have chicken or pork get spoiled on you in the refrigerator. And definitely don't put it above other meats, because if they spill down and they're bad and they get just a little bit of their fluid gets on the other products that you have in your refrigerator, you're going to be sick. So you guys got to be real careful. Anything to do with food and cooking, you guys got to be careful. I hear that they're having issues in all kinds of places about food and all kinds of craziness going around. But I don't blame them, really. It's dangerous, you know. It's dangerous to undercook or, you know, or distribute bad food and stuff like that. It is. It's a dangerous thing. You can kill somebody. You can kill somebody if you don't practice, you know, clean food practices. If you don't perform clean food practices, like wash your hands real good. That's another thing I tell everybody. Did you wash your hands already? And you're touching that? You know, go wash your hands. Wash your hands. Make sure that your hands are clean. You wash your hands thoroughly. Don't start touching food with your hands dirty. I've seen people do the most ridiculous stuff. And I mean, really, you just want to go and knock them in the head. Because they'll go and start touching food without washing your hands. Wash your hands. Wash your hands when you're going to touch food, man. You're about to feed your family and you're taking all these germs and crap to them. Wash your hands. Wash your hands before you cook. Wash your hands before you do any of this. I think that guy in there looks like it's almost ready, and I'm almost ready. So we're almost ready. So we'll be putting these babies in there. And always get your plate, like I've showed you before, and put a napkin on it. And get it going. Got 2 more to go here. Oh, I'm becoming undone on me now. Got 2 more to go, and we'll start on the frying. And that'll be like it is. And we try not to be hogs at nighttime when eating. Probably we'll eat more fish than anything else, like if we're eating late at night. Yep, that went right up, which is exactly what it's supposed to do. So when I put these in, I'm going to go and lay them in groups, and that's going to fly right up. And we're going to be really, really into the cooking today here. And that's it. That's pretty much it. Finish closing that guy right there and just start getting your guys and just start putting them in. And this is ready to go. Just raise a little bit right here, tiny bit here. I'm going out towards the medium high. For some reason this range of mine isn't working 100% lately. So I've had to play with the heat sometimes. But that's alright. And just keep dropping them in there. They're going to keep cooking. And please pay attention always to your heat and your pot. And the last thing you want to do is burn yourself. Pay close attention to what's going on in your kitchen when you're cooking. I mean, some people, man, they don't even know how dangerous it really is to get burned with grease until they do. I've had friends of mine go like, "Oh, I can do this," and the heat was like super high. Work your heat up. And don't be shy with it. Work your heat up. You know? Work your heat up and pay attention. Pay lots of attention. Like I said, the last thing you want to do is burn yourself. Excuse me a second while I grab a plate. And that's cooking. And like I said, you want to get yourself a plate. Okay? And excuse me a second. Get my trusty napkins. And just grab a couple napkins. And that's just so that it drains out all the excess oil that's in there. You want to have that ready. Move that out of the way. Move this guy's spare stuff out of the way there. And these guys will cook really fast. You get your little spoon here, just move them around a little bit. They'll get really nice and toasty when they're ready. So it's real easy to know when they're ready. And you can see I'm keeping an eye on my heat. I don't want to overdo my heat, ever. You don't want to overdo your heat. You overdo your heat, it's not about burning them or not burning, it's about you getting burned. When you have a lot of oil, you definitely don't want any of that oil spilling out or anything. It'll catch on fire like you won't believe. So, you got to be very cautious. And it's very important that you keep an eye, always, on what you're doing. Take your time when you're cooking. A lot of people, I don't know, it's almost like they're in a hurry to cook. Don't be in a hurry to cook. Cooking will happen. If you have the right temperature, okay, and the right tools, cooking will just happen. Alright, this is about enjoyment. Something you're not just going to enjoy it, you know, when you make your plate, you're going to enjoy the fact, alright, that you made something good, and it came out right, and you're safe about it. Both in the food safety and in the cooking safety. You definitely do not want to get burned. I tell everybody, please don't get burned. Don't get burned. And that's pretty much, you'll just leave it there. It'll fry fairly fast, you know, and just keep an eye on it. It should be only a few minutes. So this isn't going to be a 200-hour video or nothing like that. It will be a few minutes. And just keep your eyes on it. Move it around. You don't want them like getting off. Sometimes they'll stick if you don't move them around. You want to move them around a little bit, and keep your eyes on your grease, your temperature. The grease tells you how hot it is. Grease will always tell you, when you start cooking, grease will always tell you how hot it is. It's better to start from a milder sizzling and then work it up little by little. Alright? Then if you drop that in there and that's like super, super hot, it'll spill right out. I guarantee you it will. If you're not watching what you're doing, you're going to spill oil. You're going to start a fire in your kitchen. And I'll tell you right now, don't start a fire in your kitchen. You know, I've seen people do crazy stuff because they started a fire in their kitchen. And one of the craziest things I saw was water. Do not ever put water if your kitchen caught on fire with oil. You're only going to raise that fire higher. What you want to do is you want to definitely take out whatever is sitting on the fire, which contains other oils or whatever. Move it out of the way as soon as possible. Okay? And what you do is get a humid towel. Not wet. Just make sure it's humid and cover the fire. Okay? And that's about as good as it gets. You don't want it any other way. And definitely, like I said, make sure you don't have water spilling out of your towel or nothing. Just make sure it's humid. And the reason for that is so that you don't really, it won't burn through the towel. That's really why you do that. Because if your fire is really high, you want to have that humidity on the towel so that the towel doesn't catch on fire. But you'll smother the fire that's already there by throwing the towel on top of it. You will smother it. And once you smother the fire, it's done. You know, and make sure that you turn the heat off, or you ain't going to smother nobody. The only thing you'll be, whoop, see what I mean? You got to be careful with that. See, even I can make a mistake, and that's how easy it can happen. And that was just by moving a little bit. You got to be real, real careful when it comes to cooking with really hot grease. You got to be real careful, real careful. You don't want to mess up. This is not an option for you. It is not an option to mess up while doing this. And I'm just going to wait till they start getting a little bit golden brown on the fire there, and which will be pretty soon. And you'll know already when they're going to start, like, what's happening is you'll see like an up and down of your sizzling, and that's because the inside started cooking. That means the grease went through and the juice out of the pork is starting to come out, and then it'll bring your sizzling up a little bit, and that's what it is. And so pretty much it's already at a pretty golden state, and it's almost there. And what I want to show you is the difference. This is before you cook it. And let me make sure you can see that there. I want to make sure you can see that really up close. That's before you cook it. Okay. And now I'm going to show you one after you cook it. And you'll see, because they all wrinkle up and they get actually really nice looking. Okay. And these guys right here are ready, Freddy. And I'm going to take them off slowly. Make sure that all that grease scoots out. And you put them on your napkin right here, and you're gonna see they're just golden color. You can fry them longer if you want, but these are already made. Okay, and you're gonna see they get like a gold color and they wrinkle up. And I'm gonna get close up over here for you again so you can see that. And you can see right here how they're wrinkled right there. You can see the wrinkly, on that one there. Okay, and I just want to show you so you can see. And there you go, folks. And that's how you do wonton pork. Till the next time, Johnny Quest out.